Welcome to the Thyroid Fix podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Amie Hornaman, functional medicine practitioner, functional nutritionist, thyroid and weight loss expert. So we are talking all things thyroid, hormone, and health related on the show in order to empower, educate, and transform you. So if you are ready to get your life back, then let's get started. So I wanted to have just a quick conversation with you today regarding the inability to take T3 medication. You know that you are a select few. I have very, very few patients that can't even tolerate 2.5 micrograms of T3, even if we're doing it once a day or sometimes split dose. Now, in another episode, I talked about compounded T3, why I don't like it most of the time, but in some instances where we can put fillers in that slow the breakdown of the medication and allow for a slow release of T3 into the system, this is beneficial. So this is going to be a game changer for you, and you can probably hear the excitement in my voice. The latest introduction, the latest member of the family to the Fixxr line is Metabolism Fixxr. And this, oh my God, I formulated this just for all my people out there that need to lose weight, that need help in the weight loss department, that can't lose weight no matter what they do, that feel like they have a slow metabolism, and that might be thinking of trying all those peptides out there, you know, the Beverly Hills soccer mom drug of choice for weight loss peptides. Or even if you're on them already and you're like, man, these are really expensive and I'm still not losing weight, add in Metabolism Fixxr. Here's what I did. I took the power of T2, which increases your basal metabolic rate while you are sitting there watching Netflix. You're burning fat while you're watching Netflix. I combined it with a very unique patented ingredient called Suppressa. Suppressa has multiple clinical trials backing its efficacy in reducing your appetite, decreasing snacking, and providing way more control over your food intake. It is amazing. We also see improved emotional well-being, just decreased food cravings all around, reduced hunger, and weight management. Add on top of that, we have green tea extract, we have purple forest purple tea extract, both of which affect the metabolism in a very positive way without the jitters of normal fat burning supplements out there from the 1980s and 90s, right? The ones that made you feel like you're having a heart attack. You will not have that in any of my supplements, Thyroid Fixxr or Metabolism Fixxr. But Metabolism Fixxr, ooh, yeah, we kicked it up a notch. It is in powder form, so you can drink it through your day. It's going to flavor your water. We got orange crush and refreshing citrus. I love them both. It is going to keep you under control all day long. So you throw a couple scoops in your water bottle in the morning, throw a scoop or two in your water bottle throughout the day. You will have fat burning and appetite control the entire day for what? An eighth of a price of the peptides? Oh my God, you can't go wrong. So grab some Metabolism Fixxr today. Please let me know how you do on it. I am super excited for you. Super excited. So today we're going to briefly talk about a new finding. Now you're probably still going to be waiting for a little bit because remember, any finding means it has to go through clinical trials and human trials, and the FDA needs to approve it. So it may still be another year or two or more, but we're going to go over a potential new hypothyroid drug that will be coming out that will allow users to tolerate T3 a little bit better. So ironically, today we are going to dive into an article by one of my absolute favorite researchers. So anytime I've written a paper or done actual scientific literature searches, lit reviews, so I did a case review on one of my patients. So in researching that for the lit review portion, I always stumble upon articles by Antonio Bianco, MD PhD. And he is just an amazing researcher. I give him all the credit in the world. One of the only ones that dives into T3 therapy and recognizes the beneficial effects of using T3. Now, what you'll notice when you start getting into his published papers is he's pretty much one of the only ones that talks about the use of T3 therapy and the benefits of it. Most of the papers you will find, if you do a PubMed search or Google Scholar, you will find T4 monotherapy works really, really well. We won't get into the biases of all of that, but when you search Bianco, search Antonio Bianco, and you will find many, many papers authored by him as one of the authors or the main author, and they're just so refreshing, so refreshing. He also has a website. It's deiodinase.org. So it's DEIODINASE.org. We will link to that in the show notes, where you can find a ton of published papers. One I want to focus on right now is the paper. This was published in 2018. And like I said in the beginning, it's not shocking that this has not come to market yet. Because when something is discovered to be beneficial for humans, it has to go through multiple clinical trials, human trials, be approved by the FDA. I'm going to hold back on a comment that I really, really want to make about a recent, really fast release of a vaccine. Multiple clinical trials, human trials, to test for the efficacy and the side effects of said medication being released. Now, this one that we are talking about today is developed with the person in mind that cannot take T3. They get the side effects of heart palpitations, tightness of the chest, sweating. And we know that T3 spikes in the blood 3 to 4 hours after the patient takes it. So when we are trying to combine T3 with T4 therapy, let's say you are one of the many that does not metabolize T4 monotherapy, that does not convert T4 to T3 in an efficient manner, and you need T3 added to your therapy, which many of us do, most of us do. I would say 9 out of 10 patients need T3. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say 99 out of 100, or maybe 999 out of 1,000, because it's very, 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 very rare that I will meet a patient who says, yeah, I'm doing great on this T4 only. I take Levo or Synthroid and I lost weight and I feel great. And it's been like 10 years I've been on this and it's amazing. You're not going to hear that very often. I'm going to tell you that right now. Not going to hear it. And if you're one of the patients listening that is on T4 only, you're probably nodding your head going, oh my gosh, that's not me. No, I don't feel that way. I do not feel better whatsoever on my T4 monotherapy. I'm taking a minute to interrupt the podcast just to tell you how you can sign up for a free discovery call with me to learn how we can work together as a team and how I can help you to get your life back. So if you go to my website at amiehornaman.com and click on book a call, you can schedule a call that's convenient for you. It'll be about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and that's where you will learn what it looks like to work with me, everything that we cover, top to bottom with your health, how we develop a treatment plan, a personalized nutrition plan, a personalized supplement plan, and how we work together as a team with me holding your hand to get you your life back. Now, if you are also one of the patients that are saying, I don't feel good on my T4 monotherapy, and when I tried T3, I did not do very well. I got really jittery. I got a headache. I had heart palpitations. I had tightness in my chest. So to remedy this problem, scientists developed a metal coordinated form of LT3 known as polyzinc leothioneine, PZL. So that was synthesized. It was loaded into capsules and tested in hypothyroid rats. The results were amazing. So rats receiving the PZL absorbed T3 at a much slower rate resulting in less fluctuation of blood T3 levels over time. So if we can not get that spike in you sensitive individuals, releasing it slowly, similar to what we talked about with compounded slow release T3, although you wouldn't have to go through a compounding pharmacy for this. If this is developed, comes to market, you get it at your local pharmacy and you don't have to go through the compounding headache. So much slower rate, resulting in less fluctuation of blood T3 levels over time. This is because contrary to normal T3, PZL is broken down in the intestine and slowly releases T3 for absorption into the bloodstream. You guys have heard Riley before. You know that when anybody comes home or the UPS guy comes in, he's going to say hello to all the listeners. So that was Riley saying hello. Let's get back to this. Because contrary to T3, PZL is broken down in the intestine, slowly releases T3 for absorption into the bloodstream. Notwithstanding a much slower rate of absorption, treatment with PZL resulted in similar long-term effects toward correcting hypothyroidism. The authors of the study concluded that capsules of PZL given orally normalize bodily processes that are T3 dependent while exhibiting a reduced and delayed spike of T3 in the blood. This provides a longer period of relatively stable serum T3 levels when compared with capsules of T3 or the hard tablets of, like we all take, the 5 micrograms, 25 micrograms. Future clinical trials. So here we are. We need more clinical trials to bring this to market. Should determine whether these enhanced properties might render PZL a more suitable pharmaceutical to normalize circulating T3 levels in T4 treated hypothyroid patients that are simply not responding to T4 only. So the takeaway from this is hold tight, my T3 sensitive people. There is hope. There's always new stuff coming to market. And we talked about Tirosint Sol. That's relatively new. So that is just the purest form of T4. We talked about, again, slow release compounded T3. That is a viable option and absolutely can be used in you right now if you are sensitive to T3. The only problem with compounded T3, compounded slow release T3, is let's say you move to a place where the compounding pharmacy isn't, oh yeah, I know they can ship it, but then sometimes your doctor doesn't really dig sending a script to a compounding pharmacy. And then what fillers are they using? And are you sensitive to them? So there's all kinds of issues with compounded T3. So I think this is a viable option once it comes to market for my T3 sensitive patients. So I hope this helps you, just give you a little nugget of info. And like I said, we will put the link to Bianco's site in the show notes. Let me read to you a couple other recent publications from him, right? We have human type 1 iodothyronine, deiodinase, DIO1 mutations cause abnormal thyroid hormone metabolism. Yes, we know this is what we've been trying to get the medical community to listen to, that there are groups of people that do not convert T4 to T3 efficiently. I'm one of them. Another one, induction of DIO2 after status modifies hippocampal gene expression in mice. Thyroid hormone status during LT4 therapy, systematic review and meta-analysis. Let me tell you the one that I refer to quite often. New insights into LT4 monotherapy for hypothyroidism, meaning it's not that good. Paradigms of dynamic control of thyroid hormone signaling. The history and future of treatment of hypothyroidism. So jump on there, read it up, educate yourself, become a better patient advocate. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, please share this episode and check out the entire Thyroid Fix podcast on iTunes, and it would be awesome if you left a review. And just a reminder that anything you hear on this podcast is not intended to diagnose or treat, so you always want to check with your doctor about any advice given on this podcast. And if you would like to schedule a discovery call, please refer to the show notes for all the links. Everything that we talk about in this podcast will be in there with a guide for you on how you can get your life back. Let's get fixed.